Oh no, I think I found a kindred spirit, and it's a Tory MP. Hi, it's me again, and yeah, I can't say I agree with pretty much anything that comes out of any MP's mouth, regardless of party or affiliations. I'm not bothered about politics, I don't follow a particular party, I'm not into all of that. But I stumbled across this article on the Express, which is brilliant at TV licence articles lately, isn't it? They're really sort of leading the fight in that. Must get them a lot of clicks or something. But I was reading this and I thought, God, I think we're kindred spirits, me and you, Mr. MP man. Have a look at what he said. Look. The BBC will not celebrate its 150th anniversary unless the broadcaster adapts to the modern age and goes global, a Conservative MP has said. Andrew Brigden, MP for North West Leicestershire, has slammed the BBC, which celebrates its 100th anniversary this week, for using their licence fee as their lifeboat while failing to take into account the progress of technology. He's absolutely spot on and very well said. I'm surprised I didn't think of saying it like that with the amount of these videos I've made about the TV licence fee. It is, it's their lifeboat. And I've been saying it over and over again. They don't want to change. They don't want to move forward and become a global streaming giant, the British version of Netflix, which they could do. They don't want to go commercial and make their own money like ITV or Channel 4, Channel 5, whatever have to do. Because they get gifted every year 3.7 billion quid, no matter how well they do, no matter what good programming they make, no matter how many repeats they show, they will get their TV licence fees every year. So why change? Why adapt? Why move forward when you've got your lifeboat of 3.7 billion quid a year? This guy actually get him. Nice, I like it. Make him Media and Culture Secretary. Might get some change, eh? In his critique of the state broadcaster, the MP said the system was failing and the senior management team need to shift their focus towards a new global subscription model. Yeah, I've said it a few times that the senior management team are out of their depth. I don't mind Tim Davie as a human being. I like the way he speaks. I would have a beer with him. I'd question him a lot about the TV licence fee. But I think he might be out of his depth in this job. He gets to manage 3.7 billion quid a year, which is more than the GDP of many countries, as we've mentioned on this channel before. And think of a country that has a GDP of 3 billion quid a year, right? Schools, hospitals, airports, police forces, armed forces, roads, infrastructure, bridges. All that has to be managed on the GDP. And the BBC still have a £300 million black hole a year in their finances, using all that money just to run a media company. How? If you cannot run a media company on 3.7 billion quid a year, then we need to find somebody who can, because Tim Davie may very well be out of his depth if he can't do it. I'm sure he's cleverer than I will ever be. I'm not saying I could do the job. Not in a million years could I do that job. But somebody out there can, and we need to get them in the position so they can streamline the BBC and start making it have money left over at the end of the year, not in a £300 million hole. It amazes me that you cannot run a media company on 3.7 billion quid. It never ceases to amaze me. It's ridiculous. It comes out after a recent Techni poll conducted by the Express, which indicated that out of 1,632 people asked, just 24% wanted the licence fee of 159 quid to remain intact. However, 27% were in favour of full privatisation, while 30% wanted to introduce a subscription service. Where's the commercial part? Why? I just don't get why people believe the licence fee model. It's been a thing in the past, it's a thing currently, and it should be a thing in the future. The only alternative to that is either a media tax or a subscription model. No, it's not. The alternative to that is going commercial, like every other TV channel has to do to pay its own way. Why does the BBC, and why do people feel the BBC is above advertising? This MP made some fair points, but he said there, the team need to shift their focus towards a new global subscription model. Yes, they do. That is where television's going in the future. Right? In 10 years' time, that is what television will be. But we're not there yet. The BBC can build towards being the British global streaming giant, BBC Plus or whatever they want to call it, and charge a fee for it. But in the meantime, slim down and go commercial while you build the subscription model. Why can't you just show ads? If you showed ads, you don't need the 159 quid a year, do you? And you can carry on as you are until you get your subscription model set. The MP doesn't mention that at all. It's like it's Licence fee, tax or subscription model. There's no in between. About ITV, about Channel 4, about all the Sky channels. Right, they get a bit of money from the Sky subscriptions, granted. But they survive. ITV, for instance, turns over 1.4 billion quid a year. They make some great programming that people really enjoy, and some Channel 4 makes some brave programming that you wouldn't see on any other channel that people really enjoy. Channel 5 makes some interesting stuff, I guess. They all manage to survive through advertising because they're incentivized to make better stuff, because better stuff gets more viewers, which gets better ad revenue. Why can't the BBC operate like that? It's because they're sitting in their lifeboat of 3.7 billion quid a year, isn't it? But I just don't understand why these MPs and why these people are commenting on it and all these polls, they never mention the BBC must go commercial. I don't know. Is it just me? Am I wrong? So it's quite a long article, this one. If you want to read the whole thing, I always put a link to all these articles in the description so you can go and have a look yourself. Let me know what you think about it all down in the comments below. He did make a fair point. He did make a fair point. Making Media and Culture Secretary, we might actually get some change then. Although, you know, it'll probably only last a couple of weeks given this government. Absolute state it's in. And that's the other problem as well, isn't it? Because the charter for the BBC's existence expires in 2027 for the licence fee. Right? But if we don't get on this quick, they'll get that extended because they won't have time to implement any new plans. Although that's the problem. And with an unstable government, there's only one way it's going, and they're going to get a 10-year extension, which is still better than a media tax, isn't it? Because at least you can opt out of paying the licence fee at the minute. But let me know what you think about it down in the comments below. And as always, thanks for watching, and don't forget to hit the subscribe button if you haven't already, because that way, hopefully I'll see you in another video again soon. Ta-da.